Guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lou. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8Life.com. Coach Lou will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lou.
Happy Tax Day, y'all. It is April 15th, ready to rock and roll here. And you might go, if I'm listening on a replay, Coach, it is not April 15th. Been there, done that, and conquered it, hopefully, and not going, oh, I'm still got to deal with that. So, what a day, really, to talk about a time for change. If not now, when? Okay, when is the best time to make a decision? Let me ask you a question, heartfelt question this morning. We're jumping right in head first today. When is the best time to make a decision? Yesterday, of course. When's the next best time? Today. Today is your day to make some decisions, guys. And what an analogy to fall on tax day, April 15th. When you have probably made a decision, I'm just going to say possibly, to put this off to the last minute, and you probably even maybe filed an extension because you put it off, because you didn't make a decision to get it done. Now maybe you did. Maybe your taxes got filed in January. Kudos, baby. You got them done. Okay? The question is what is the difference between whether they're done or whether you're scrambling today to do it and going, Coach, I really am kind of listening to you, but I got my Intuit up on one and my bank statement's on the other, and I'm trying to figure all this out by midnight, or filed an extension and, we'll put it off until the last minute of the extension. What is the power of that decision? Last show we talked about what? We talked about the story with my dad. Never enough time to do it right in the first place, but there always seems to be time to redo it. That was the lesson from that. And the crazy thing was I had to admit that, he was right on that one. We as kids, we rushed through getting the work done and everything else. And, he'd come in and he'd be like, really? Is this what you do? Well, we didn't have enough time. Okay, now you got to fix it. And you didn't have enough time in the first place, but now we certainly have time to redo it. Okay, that was a lifelong lesson learned. Thank you, Dad, for that one, And it boils over true in everything. Remember, we also did the steps last time of how to conquer that. Okay, the first thing was admit, what it was that brought you exactly to where you are today. Forget the old beliefs, eradicate them, destroy them about I don't have enough time, or that person's got more resources than me, all the BS stories in the world that could hold you back, right? Those are belief system stories, by the way, not what you thought. All right, so then you make a list of the real needle-moving actions in your life that you need to get to where you want to go, right? Then you take that list of action items, classify the ones you love and really enjoy doing, and put them on your map, which is your massive action plan, your daily plan, or whatever, however you want to call it. And then take the ones you don't love or downright can't stand, and you delegate them to somebody else. That's a pretty simple solution there, right? Then we used that anchor that we set to set flow state. Boom, whatever it was to get you in that state of flow, to take massive action to succeed, that state where you're not distracted. Okay? So I want to share something with you today. Okay, have you ever heard somebody say, or maybe you've even said this yourself, someday when we this, someday when we're ready we'll have a child, someday when we buy a house we'll start to settle down, someday when I retire I'll be able to relax, someday when. That is a killer statement, a killer of joy, a killer of success. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about the young couple wants to build a family at some point, but we live in an apartment. can't have a baby right now. We live in an efficiency apartment. Hey, it would make sense. It would be pretty rough. Yeah, well, let's wait till we get a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom apartment. So we got room for the baby. 2-bedroom apartment comes along. Well, we really should, have our own home before we have a baby. Oh, yeah, you know what? You're right. Let's wait. Someday when? Oh, now we have our own home. Well, we got our careers, and we really got to get our careers off the ground before we stop and have a baby. Yeah, and then your career gets going, and it's like, well, I can't. We really shouldn't right now because, we're traveling out of the country for business all the time. We can't, it wouldn't be fair to a baby. And then the next thing you know, this couple's old and, can't have a baby anymore. And they go, oh, what happened to someday when? It's because there's never going to be a perfect time. Okay? Let me share a little story. Lexi comes along, decides she's coming along. Okay? And Lexi sparked something. It was like, oh no. I had this little house in this area of our town called College Park. Very nice area in one street. Next street, you got crack houses and, it's run down. Next street over, you got $1 million home. You got a nice condo complex. You got another train wreck little pocket of a neighborhood. Even on the same street, you'd have a decent house, a good house, and then this, the house where you wish it would burn down. Because, there's one person after the other that moved in there was just a problem. And I'm like, don't want to live in this neighborhood. They've got a baby coming. Okay, so it was like, all right, get this beautiful townhouse in this town called Castleberry. Gorgeous place, cool, hey, this is so much better of a neighborhood. Guess what? Kid starts to walk. That's a good thing. We want the baby to walk, well, but now the baby can walk, maybe get out the door. Baby wants to go play. Baby does not need to be playing in a parking lot. Okay? So take baby for a walk one day, see this for sale by owner on this nice cul-de-sac. It's got a fenced yard. Next thing you know, off we go. Okay, this is the sparking of a small real estate empire. Okay, which 2008 kind of reversed, but hey, we'll talk about the good side of it. So that's great. Well, we live in Florida. Lexi really should have a swimming pool and learn to swim. Boom. Next. Regardless, it just was always an upgrade. There was no perfect time. It was not a perfect time to start being in that little home in College Park in the nightmare neighborhood. No, it really wasn't, but it was good, bad, but it wasn't the best place to raise a child. Then upgrading to the townhouse was great until you don't want your child to learn to walk and play in a parking lot. So these are the things, but there was no perfect time to have a child. In contrast with that couple that I talked about a minute ago who always put it off, and it never happened. It could be anything. This could be you talking with your spouse about starting a business. Well, when we have enough money, when the economy changes, someday when, and then you end up retiring from a job you hated forever because you never opened a business. Okay? Or you open a business and, someday when you'll get this. Okay, just funny little side shoot on that. When I lived out west with the ex-wife, we battled over the cost of a sign for the business on a main highway. Oh, we shouldn't, get anything too big. And I'm like, you gotta stand out. Well, someday when we're making more money on it, you put the bigger sign. No! You got to get out there. Okay, that's just a funny old story because it showed the difference between entrepreneurial and somebody who was corporately minded mindset. There's all kinds. I could share stories with you all day long that'll drive this home, guys. It is really, really important stuff. And just as a side note, it's really important to have somebody in your life and your relationship, your spouse, that has a similar view. You're never gonna be the exact same, but it's very difficult if one spouse were to say, "Well, not having a child till it's perfect," and the other one's going, "Let's just do it today and learn as we go." I'd rather see you do it and learn as you go than wait, and put something off to make a decision, and then it's too late. Or, working a business together, that's the toughest. Husband and wife, or, family, working business. My God, that can be the toughest, but it also can be the greatest thing in the world if you're on the same page. Doesn't mean you use the same wording, read the same paragraph every day, as in the analogy of a book, but the book has the beginning and end, and the general storyline is the same for both. Then you're good, or the whole team, or the whole family. I'm giving you random excuses. I better have another sip of coffee. Random examples. We were at the range yesterday. We went to the range out in the country, dinner with friends. Actually had a really nice partial day off, which was great. So it was a good time. But I'm a little slow on the draw this morning. But my whole point there is I could have 100,000 examples for you of why someday when will not work. Now, it doesn't mean be foolhardy and goofy and make bad decisions. But we're going to talk more about that today. But you've got to get off your butt and stop the someday when. Someday when I think COVID was a recent excuse. Someday when COVID's over, we'll do a business. Someday when the elections are over, we'll start a business because the economy's really rough right now. Well, yeah, it is. I mean, you'd have to be blind, deaf, dumb, and everything else not to realize our economy's in trouble. Now, where you place the blame, personally, that's up to you. But the truth is, the blame lies with us as American citizens. We remember, your government works for you. Your local on up should work for you. I mean, not for you exactly personally. They don't always make the best decision that you would want them to make, but in the overall, it's for our overall good. But if you wait for the government to come rescue you, you wait for mom and dad to bail you out all the time, any of that stuff, guys, and someday when, trust fund babies do that. Watched an old friend of mine years ago just run himself into the dirt partying and everything else because he knew he was going to inherit all this family money. And he really, was a talented guy, could have done lots, but, just didn't care because there was no ramifications. Someday when I get my trust fund, well, someday when he got his trust fund, because of all the partying and everything else, he had a major disease and he couldn't enjoy it. There's a story for you. That if then nothing else I said this morning drove it home. Can you imagine waiting on an inheritance or something like that, and you get the inheritance and then you can't enjoy it? It's kind of like winning the lotto. Hey, I play. You know what? We do it as a team at the auction house. The auction family, everybody, we do a little pool each week. And you know what? It's more about bonding together and going, wow, what we would do. And the thing is everybody all says the same thing. We would give such a chunk of it away to things and charities that would do a great thing because that's what we do anyway. And that's cool. But we don't sit there and go, someday when we win the lottery, we're going to do something for the community. We do stuff every week. We support our local elementary schools backpack program and stuff like that. We don't wait till we win the lotto to do that, or someday when we win the lotto we can help people, or someday when the business makes billions we can help people. Well, we help them now. It's on a little different scale than if the Powerball came through for the group. But we do that for fun, not waiting on a lottery payout or waiting on somebody's inheritance or anything else. All right, so I'm getting a little long-winded on that. So what I want to talk to you about today is decision is the most powerful tool in your goals, your outcomes, your any accomplishment, anything you want. Decision is the mother of that. Decision in its Latin root actually means decidere. Again, I don't have the specific wording on that this morning. Decision literally in Latin means to cut off from. Okay? So, wow. cut off from is as important as adding actions. Oh, hey, let me say that again. Cutting off from some things is as important as taking new actions. See, when you take a new action, there's usually something you've got to leave behind. And when you leave something behind, you have to replace it with a new action to make it work. For example, and to make sense here, when somebody quits smoking, smoking's one of the biggest therapies I've done over the years with people to help them out, to get people beyond smoking. If they gotta have my last cigarette and I'm quitting smoking, inherently as human beings, it is against our nature to quit, give up. Okay, that keeps a lot of people doing a lot of things for way longer than they should. In our natures, hear this, we are not wired to give up or quit. Okay, so really the key to it was become a non-smoker, but I jumped ahead a little there. When you gave up the cigarette habit, when I stopped smoking cigarettes, the hardest part was after a meal. So what would I do at a restaurant? At that time in life, I ate out more. Grab one of the mint toothpicks preferably, or cinnamon one, or just a toothpick, and just chew on it for a minute. Okay? So what did that do? Was it an enabler? Was it? No. It was simply replacing the bad habit with one that had no negative. Okay, it wasn't a great habit to walk around with a toothpick, it was just for a few minutes. But when you replace, the better thing is if you cut something off, if you say, I'm not going to watch TV 4 hours a day because that means I'm sitting on the couch eating Cheetos, you can't sit there and just turn the TV off and sit on the couch and eat the Cheetos and think you've really done something good. What you could do is to cut all that out and replace it with going for a walk, drinking some lemon water. Now your after dinner routine is to go for a walk instead of park on the sofa. You've taken out what didn't serve you, throw it over the shoulder, and you've installed a positive. Okay? I know I'm being goofy this morning, having fun, guys. I had a fun day yesterday, so it's like, yeah, I'm in a good mood. So decision in its base form, when you make a decision, the most important thing you can remember right now is it separates the shoulds from the musts. Okay? When you make a decision to really follow through, it becomes a must, not a I should do. When you should do, you're shoulding all over everything. I should do this. I should start to exercise. I must. You might not be the best. It might not be the best time. You might be going, why did I commit to this at this hour of the morning? It's raining and grumpy and crabby out and crappy out. And I'm going to go run or walk or go to the gym. I'd rather sit here in bed or sit here and eat a donut and stare out the window. Okay, there are mornings we'd all like to sit there with a cup of coffee and I don't know about a donut, but maybe a pastry or something instead of eating, a little avocado with some salad and some almond flour waffles like I do. Every once in a while, it would be nice to just do that. And that's the every once in a while. It's still okay to do something you enjoy that's not great for you, even though it's not great. Just once in a while. It's called a zag day. Okay, or a zag moment or a zag meal. Most of it you're zigging. You're doing the right thing. Once in a while you go, Beer! It keeps you from falling off the wagon. Totally. Okay, so, but here it is. The real key of today is decision separates the should from the must. If you don't make a decision, you know what you should do. Once you make a real decision, I'm talking a real decision, now it becomes a must. It becomes part of your day. For example, when I get up in the morning, all right, I must drink some celery juice. I must bounce on the rebounder. I must do a few minutes of yoga or stretching or something to fix all this mess up in here from these. Then I must go in the cold plunge. And then I must warm. Okay? That's non-negotiable each morning. Now, is there a morning where I may not do it? Maybe once a month I'll miss a day where my morning routine isn't exact. And normally I eat breakfast too, and before I start. But on show days, a lot of times it's depending on how early I've woken up. It might be coffee first, and then I eat, during production time. But the thing is I have my musts. I should eat first thing in the morning, but I don't necessarily have to. That's not the most important part of it. Okay? So do you want to bring someday to today by making a decision today? You want to do this together right here and now? Do you want to make a decision on something? Do you want to do this and actually really do this? I'm not talking listen to this show and go, well, coach, this is all great. This is all fine and dandy. Oh, yeah, okay, I enjoyed it. Good ideas, coach. I mean, hit the pavement running and make a decision today. Do you want to do this? If you're ready to do this, let's go ahead and bring it on. If not, visit me back at a time you're ready. I'm not going to push it on you. But if you're going to sit here and listen to me in the morning, you're going to spend your precious time, you may as well get some return out of this by taking some action. Okay? Here are the steps to decision, baby. Bring that someday to today. Are you ready? Sit up tall. Take a deep breath. Make your move. Boom. If you were on with me and you got into that focused state the other day, make that move. Let's focus. Say yes. Do it. Go. Okay? I'm not talking sit here and go, good ideas. Get in state. Step in. You know what? People say, oh, you're a little over the top, coach. You're always in a up mood now. You're always so positive. It's easy for you. BS. Okay, I got to fire off anchors. I wake up the same way you do in the morning. I put my pants on the same way you do. One leg at a time. Boom. Or two legs at a time. I am this. We're the same. We're all human. It's how we embed it in here and the actions you take that make the difference and the decisions you make. Okay, so here it is. Are we ready to write this down and participate with me? Get clear on what you want and when you want it to happen by. Define your clear and compelling why. Why do you want this? This is step 2. I'll actually put this in the chat for you when we're done, okay? Number 3, decide on 3 to 5 top actions to make it happen. What are the top 3 or 5 things you can do? And you don't have to do all these because you might find your top 1 or 2. What are the top 3 to 5 actions that you know if you did this on a daily, weekly, etc. basis would make this happen? Okay? If there's those either or do not decisions, use mitigation to figure that out. What do I mean by that? If you have a decision to make, do we open a business or stay in our jobs? You mitigate. You take a sheet of paper and you literally put one on each side and you go, top 5 pluses to this, top 5 challenges. And look at it and go, what is it worth it to make this decision as opposed to this decision? By literally mitigating it and you can assign values to each piece of it and go, out of 100, what's important? We have an unlimited opportunity if we open a business, but we could fail. Well, what's the worst you can do? If you're a young couple just starting out of college and you got a little bit of savings, whatever, and you invested in a business and it fails, you're not done for. If you're 85 years old and you're kind of living week to week and you're still working and you invest in a business that could wipe you out financially and take any savings you have, you may look at that differently. It might hold different weight, okay? Or, you have your do or do not decisions. Do we go on vacation or do we not go on vacation based on our finances? Well, if we go on vacation, we have a great time, we recharge, boom, 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 we come back, the business will keep growing, or jobs will be recommitted, and it's not going to take all our savings. If we go on vacation, we got to put it all on credit card, we're going to have debt, and we can't pay our bills as it is. Maybe a do not time, maybe a do time. Okay, and commit to to creating a timeline, a map of how to do this. Whatever it is, once you make the decision, step by step by step with the timeline, how are we going to do this? Okay? So then take immediate action. This is step 6. Okay. We decide today, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to lose X amount of pounds. I'm going to get in X amount of shape. I have a race I want to do. Here's my map. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, I got it all mapped out today. I've got this mapped out from couch to 5K today. Great. Awesome. I'll start Monday. Next Monday. No. Start tomorrow. No. Do something today. What can I do today, coach? I mean, maybe it's a Sunday you make this decision and it's to go to a gym and it's closed and it's 9 o'clock at night. Go for a walk around your neighborhood. Do some yoga before bed to wind down. Okay, there's something you could do. Okay, decision is your single most powerful tool to begin any change, transformation, progresses. But then you got to take action. Period, 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 period. Review here. I'm gonna give you this right here. I'm gonna put this in the chats, guys. This is powerful stuff. Usually I like you to come over to the site and read the post and everything else, but this is powerful. I want to share this with you all this morning. All right, here we go. So I'm pasting that in. Bear with me. Okay. All right. So it's a little funky looking if you're on the site, how it came out, but you're going to get the idea. So are you ready for this? Okay, so let's review it together now that you can see it. Get clear, define exactly what your why is, 3 to 5 top actions, and then you mitigate those as to what are important, what you delegate, etc. This is just a basic quick outline for you. If you have your either ors or do or do not type of decisions, mitigate them on paper, not in your head, and then commit to creating your timeline, create your map, your massive action plan, and then take immediate action right here and right now, and immediate action. You're not going to do it all the first day, but you certainly can get it started. Okay? Now today, it's one thing you can do for me. 2 things. Number 1, I'm going to put in the chats also. Sign up for a free seat in our April Coach Lou Inner Circle meeting. It's just my way of saying thank you for being on the show and giving you an opportunity to sample what we do in Inner Circle. If you like the show, you'll love Inner Circle because it's even way more interactive. We do weekly trainings, but then we do the monthly meeting where we all get together on Zoom and you can ask questions, Q&A. We really delve into that month's topic, and it's being part of a family. Okay, but what I really, really, really need you to do today for you is commit to doing and developing these strong decision-making skills. Practice it. Isn't a one-time deal. You practice. The more you practice making decisions, the better you get. The better you get at making decisions, the better your life gets, period. Okay? Not every decision is going to be the right one, initially at least. But once you start making decisions, that's when you really know if they work. If you make no decision, you don't know if it works or not. You can sit there and think about it all you want. Okay? Either you make a right decision and you go, wow, this is great, or you make the wrong or not so great decision and you adjust it, learn and grow from it, and then it's no longer the wrong decision. Isn't it cool how this goes and how this works? Wednesday, we're going to discover the difference between change, as we talked about today, and transformation. There's a big secret that I'm going to share with you that'll change or transform it all. It's in the wording there. And I want you to think about this between now and Wednesday. There's something in the difference of change and transformation that is really going to make a key difference for you. Guys, I think I've dumped a lot on you this morning. Copy down that list I gave you. Work through it. Get ready for Wednesday. Send in questions. If you have questions, be on. Try to be on live when you can. I love it when you're on live. Let's get questions in. But if not, get all the replays at XLR8life.com, and you'll be able to interact there with me too. Or CoachLou.com, CoachLew.com. Have an amazing day. Live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams. I will see you guys on the next roundabout.
Ready to take it to the next level? Next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lou himself. As Coach Lou always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dream.